1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Back here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I call to order the. Good evening, everyone. I call to order the planning board meeting for January 20th, 2026. If you're able, we'd like you to rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
With liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And Autumn, would you take the roll?
Here.
Here?
Here.
I'm here.
Hi, William. Since you're here, we are going to elevate you to a voting member tonight. And with that, I think we will move forward. Folks, I do want to let my colleagues know that we will not be doing elections tonight, in that the process for bringing on members that will be on the board for next year is not completed yet. So we will put off the elections until likely next month. So with that, we'll move on to our action items, for which there are two tonight. And the first one is action item 4.01, Goro Palmer on behalf of Oh, I think, Helen, you're in the right seat because you're keeping me in line. We need to go to the minutes from last month, and they were provided in our packets, and I would ask for a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Rachel. Any discussion? I'm looking for William's hand.
No discussion. On my
Thank
end.
you. Okay. And with that, you want to call the roll?
Yes.
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 I can't hear my name, but I'm saying yes as well.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for catching that, Helen. You're right on the market. So our items tonight, first one is 4.01, Goro Palmer on behalf of HPB Apartments LLC, Burnham Heights, is requesting a site plan review for a proposed 24-unit workforce housing residential development at 17 Broad Turn Road, Assessors Map U34, Lot 28. Helen, you want to give us a rundown?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as you mentioned, this is a 24-unit multifamily residential proposal. This is in site plan review. It's at about a 3.4 acre parcel at 17 Broad Turn Road. This is in the TVC district, and it would require 24 rated growth permits from Area 2. There are 99 currently available in Area 2. And we saw this as a sketch plan in October of last year. We have some of the space and bulk requirements for your reference here, as well as in the staff memo. I just wanted to flag here the one sort of note on this proposal is that the applicant does propose a future transfer of property to the town of Scarborough for the purpose of a connector road between Payne Road and Broad Turn Road. So this is a proposed right-of-way, and it's identified on the site plan. And the maximum front yard setback that you'll see in the space and bulk table has been measured from that right-of-way and not from Broad Turn Road, so as not to preclude the future connector road extension. And we have the site plan for your reference. The applicant is available for questions.
Thank you, Helen. And for the applicant?
Good evening to the board. Sam Foglio from Goro Palmer, representing the applicant. As Helen mentioned, we were last here for sketch plan in October. We got some good board feedback, including the proposed right-of-way that will be transferred to the town. Since we had that last meeting, we also wanted to clarify that there is a waiver after discussion with the staff on the driveway separation standard, which will be outlined in the next site plan submission. That will be a waiver of 30 feet opposed to the 105 feet that is required. Besides that, we also went with the planning board comments, and we have reduced our parking spaces that are shown by 12 spaces. Now we are closer to that minimum requirement, saving some impervious area there. As well as we increased the 75-foot buffer from Phillips Brook to 100 feet buffer, and that's shown on the site plan that is in your packet. We'll forward also any questions from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And before I turn this over to the board, this item is open for public comment. Anyone wishing to make a comment, please step up to the podium. If you're here, we'll check online.
No one's raising their hand online.
Nobody online, so we're closed public comment, and I'll turn this over to the board. We're kind of short on people here. Rachel, you want to take it?
Sure. As I took a look at your plans, where are the mailboxes going to be?
We'll have to have that discussion up at the podium.
So the mailboxes will be in the lobby of the building.
So you're assuming that the post office is going to enter the building and put the mail in?
Yeah, that's correct.
Have you confirmed that? Because usually when there's a building like this, there's a gang box outside.
Yeah, Harold has other locations that he says that that is the case where the post office does deliver within the lobbies.
You'll have to put it on record.
Hi there, Harold Burnham, the applicant. Yes, the post office generally prefers it because they don't have to dig out the back of a box with snow and do it sorting in rain and stuff like that. So packages stay dry, tenants appreciate it.
Okay, I do think you should double check and make sure. Because we've been told other things for other developments, that they want a gang mailbox out there. So it's one of those things that you don't want to have a nasty surprise, going forward.
Yeah, many years, no complaints, nothing but praises from the mail company.
Yeah, well, if you could just double check, please.
Absolutely, will do.
I noticed that there are, in the comments, there was a comment about the lack of benches. And I have difficulty reading 2-point font. And do you have the benches out there?
So we have, since these comments, revised the plan, and there will be benches provided around the perimeter of the building.
Where?
They aren't shown, but right now they will be just behind the sidewalk that goes around the building, so between the building face and the sidewalk. Also adjacent to the bike rack that's provided in the plan bottom right of the building.
Okay, obviously, when you come back to us, we're gonna need to see those.
Yep.
I took a look at, again, the trash disposal. Do you expect garbage trucks to pull up to it? Because I don't see how that's gonna happen without losing a parking space. That's,
Yes, the trash system, because the evolution of this over 32 years is that someone, especially working third shift or so, that is sleeping, doesn't want to listen to the big bang, bang from a dumpster. So I pay an extra amount to have a tote system where they come in and it's a very quiet, low impact, contained system. And it's inside of a fenced in area.
very nice, and please make sure that you mention that someplace on the plans. Make that note.
Will do.
Then the other question sort of that I have is there are a lot of notices that there still remains some concerns about various staff comments. Are there any of the staff comments that you are going to have any difficulty accommodating?
No, after our discussion with staff, we felt comfortable on the good feedback that they provided us. We are preparing a response to that for the next meeting as well.
And would that be the same thing for the Haley Ward?
Yes, the Haley Ward and the BNL comments will all be addressed.
All right, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all set, Rachel?
Yep.
Thanks. James?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Glad to hear that the B&L comments are going to be addressed. That was kind of my point with looking at traffic. Because living in the area, coming from Route 1 down Burnham Road in that direction, I'm just concerned about traffic, leaving the traffic light, going over to the hill and then down into the gully there. Well, no, it's not a gully, but it's the bottom of a hill where folks that aren't paying attention, if they're trying to speed to get past the light or something like that. So is there, I'd like to see, in addition to the traffic comments being addressed, I wanted to see if you'd be amenable to having some kind of vehicle activated sign, something with a flash that could be posted up on the Burnham Road near Route 1 intersection. So that triggers when somebody's trying to exit or maybe enter the driveway, so that it's flashing. So if somebody going over the hill, it says hidden driveway or vehicle exiting. There's a few examples of that around. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but where you're rounding a corner and it's blind exit or hidden driveway, vehicle exiting kind of thing. So I'd like you to look in that and to look at that feasibility and to see if we could do something like that here as well, just to add a little bit more warning to folks that are coming from the Route 1 side down Burnham Road, just to reduce some of the danger that could potentially be there. So
Sure.
you and I would be looking at that sign, see if we could.
We can look into it, and we'll have to coordinate with staff, and yeah, that would be great. We do have the site distances also as well. The shorter site distance side was actually the opposite direction with that crest curve of the hill there, but we have confirmed that both site distances meet the minimum requirements there.
Got it. No, I appreciate that. I'm just thinking more from, and I'm glad the engineers say it, but sometimes for people who are driving by that tend not to, follow the rules or just need that little extra layer of reminder, especially if maybe they're distracted looking at their phone or something like that. And maybe just look at both sides, both entries on either side. And there's other instances where you have, a lit up sign that's got a solar cell on top. It's not a super major expense, but small transmitter that just signals when someone's there ready to pull out. I think that would ease some concerns about traffic and safety.
Sure. Yeah, we can look into that. Thank you.
Cool. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, James. William?
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Questions I had really were around the location of the storm or snow piles as proposed and how you plan on addressing staff comments about chloride in Phillips Brook, considering it's an urban impaired stream. And could you speak to kind of the overall philosophy on the property and how you're going to be a good neighbor to an urban impaired stream? I know there's Appendix 5, which is really great, and I appreciate the 100-foot setback. But could you speak to the salt in the winter in particular and the locations of the trash area and the one of the proposed storm piles adjacent to Phillips Brook?
Yes, thank you. We one of the comments regarding the salt in the Phillips Brook watershed, we will be creating a narrative that will be attached with our future submission. That's going to address both the low impact development standards, the LID, as well as the salt management, that chloride issues. So we'll come up with a narrative that will be posted in that following package. As far as the snow and the trash, we can look into if there's any additional spacing that'll be needed there. There was a question in the staff comments, actually from the engineering, about guardrail along the front of the parking spaces. And not to interfere with the snow storage as well, we will be, instead of a guardrail or a wheel stop, we'll be proposing larger boulders to be placed in the front of the edge of the pavement, basically, before that steeper slope.
Thank you. That's really helpful, and I look forward to seeing the narrative. You are, to my mind, not in no way required to do this, but I think given Phillips Brook and its sensitivity and the fact that it flows into the marsh, there would be wonderful educational opportunities, just signage along that back edge for the residents of this and considering the interconnection. I think that would be a good look as you all think that through.
Okay, thank you.
All set, William?
All set, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that leads to me, and while you have made progress in some of the hit lists that we had identified uh, through the sketch plan, and you made good progress toward that, there are a number of other um, issues that need to be addressed. As Rachel had pointed out, a number of them come from our peer reviewers. However, the staff has also offered some, and one I want to touch base on is the sidewalk, where the ordinance is kind of, it says you need one, but yet there isn't any on the adjacent, but the town is not stagnant by any stretch of the imagination. And there could be an opportunity as time progresses that sidewalks and a possible way to gain access through pedestrian traffic to Route 1, maybe a bus stop or something of that nature. Would you be amenable to providing some sort of estimate to what it would be to do a sidewalk? And would you be amenable to putting that into the sidewalk fund for future use by the town?
Yes, that was brought up by staff at the meeting, and we agree that that would be a good idea. So we'll prepare an estimate for the sidewalk costs along the frontage, and that will be included in the following submission as well.
Great. Is there any questions that you have based on what you have received from our peer reviewers and our staff?
I think we had a good discussion on that meeting, and we have satisfied all of our outstanding thoughts as well. So we're preparing that package, and we'll resubmit for the February planning board meeting.
That'd be great. I appreciate the effort here. I appreciate bringing this type of housing to Scarborough in a location that is at times challenging, especially from 6 a.m. to 9 and then on the way out. Some of that is our own citizens. Others are coming from the western part of the state. But nevertheless, this is a gateway into what I think can also provide an outlet or a traffic relief on the corner of Route 1 and Broad Turn Road. So I think this is a good location for workforce housing. And I think if you can finish up on some of these items, we may have a plan here to bring 24 housing units to Scarborough in a responsible way. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, moving on to item 4.02, Atlantic Resource Consultants on behalf of Dolphin Marketplace LLC is requesting a revised sketch plan review, a revised layout of the drive-through lanes for the proposed 1,600 square foot small Arby's restaurant located at 183 US Route 1, Assessor's Map U45, Lot 4. Helen, do you want to give us an update on this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So as you mentioned, this is a revised sketch plan. It was last seen by this board in December of last year. It's for about a 1,600 square foot Arby's restaurant with a drive-through located at 183 US Route 1, which is in the TBC district. And just a reminder, I know we covered this last time, but this is the first step in the plan development review process. So the next phase of this would be a site inventory and analysis, a master plan review, and then a site plan review. So there are a number of steps involved. The sketch plan has been revised a bit since its last submittal, and the applicant is available for questions.
Thank you, Helen. And for the applicant?
Thank you, Helen. Members of the board, Tony Panciocco with Atlantic Resource Consultants. As mentioned, this is a revised, it's not kind of a revised, it's a revised sketch plan layout based on a lot of the feedback that we got at the last meeting, not only from the board, but also from some of the abutters. And I think the main concern last time essentially was we had the drive-through exiting at the drive aisle closest to the entrance to the Little Dolphin School, which is the L portion of the existing building. So what we've done is if we shifted the building closer to Little Dolphin Drive and wrapped the drive-through lane around the building and kind of separated it and then rotated the parking for Little Dolphin. So we kind of have a separate parking area for the school. Um, uh, Well, it's for all the tenants, but it's also, the drive-through lane is separate from the parking, I should say. So we just kind of want to present that and get some feedback from the board and see what your thoughts are on the revised layout as opposed to what we had last time, so that we can hopefully move forward.
All set?
All set?
All right, well, thank you. This item is also available for public comment. Anyone wishing, please acknowledge your interest. Anybody online, Helen?
No one with their hand raised online.
Very well. I will acknowledge that we received some public comment, one from Averill Hill on Maple Avenue. Another comment from Meredith Curtis from Mitchell Hill Road, and Natalia Johnson, address not quite known here. And Michelle Stevenson has also provided some public comment. So those have been entered into the record, and I will close public comment at this time, and we'll have a little chat here. I'll start off by saying thank you for considering some alternatives that we offered at the last meeting. I think traffic is one of the major hurdles that has to happen with this particular project, not only internally, but I want to make sure that Route 1 is not impacted by any sort of queuing and demand for the restaurant, especially during the heavy volume time that happens to be when people want to grab a lunch or a dinner. This layout seems a lot more reflective of our concerns that we had, and I appreciate the tweaking that you've done. All that being said, really it is going to come down to one, the aesthetics. How does this look from Route 1? And number two, how is the traffic going to respond with this? Or with this, how is the traffic going to pan out? And I think there's some traffic work you're going to have to do. And I, in particular, am looking forward to seeing the analysis from your traffic expert. And of course, we will use our peer traffic consultant as well. I'll stop at this point and open it up to my colleagues for any other input that they might want to have, in no particular order. Just a wave of a hand is good enough for me. All right, Rachel, step right up.
Yes, I certainly like the location better than the prior location. I think, well, I've got a couple of questions about it. I think it's a real improvement, and I would say this, for me, this is the way to go. One of the things that, if this stays as the location, one of the things you're going to have to do, I noticed that you have on the plan something that says landscaping area. What you're going to need to figure out is how you ensure that headlights from the cars do not shine onto Route 1, or as they make the curve, basically shine into the eyes of drivers heading south on Route 1. That means that there has to be extensive landscaping, reasonably high, and to ensure that there's no leakage of light onto Route 1.
Right, yeah, and we've engaged a landscape architect, so as we move through the design, we'll obviously incorporate that into the plans.
Yeah, I think, and that's what you need to consider to ensure that none of the car lights, headlights impinge upon drivers or affect drivers on Route 1. I'm just a little queasy, going down, Little Dolphin Drive, you turn right, and all of a sudden you are right at the entrance to the drive-through.
You know,
Do you have is there any concern about people swinging around because they want to go into the driveway and all of a sudden finding there's a car in the queuing area?
well, yeah, yes and no. The reason, let me just back up a little bit. The reason I've got it set up that way is if, I kind of looked at, if you went in where the middle of the parking lot is and came around the other way, I think it would create more problems because you'd have cars exiting when cars are entering. So therefore, everybody coming in is going to be coming in right. That's coming up, or unless you're coming down from the Hannaford Drive side. But we've also incorporated a 12-foot wide bypass lane. So if someone does swing around and realize, oh, I'm in the wrong lane, they can get out and go around and get back to the parking lot. And I think it's one of those things too, where, once it's up and running, people will become accustomed to the layout as well. So they'll have an idea of how it works and, which lane they need to be in.
Yeah, I think you're going to need some sort of signage. I'm not sure what it would look like, so I would suggest you work with the
Yeah.
staff. But just to
Absolutely.
warn people swinging into the parking lot that there might be a car queuing right as they come in.
Right. And with that,
Especially,
we can also-
if it's, I think it will be a very popular place. So it's likely that there may very well be more cars there. And one of the reasons I'm concerned about it is we recall the problems with Starbucks and the queuing, the extensive queuing.
Dunkin' Donuts.
No, I don't know about Dunkin' Donuts, but Starbucks, the extensive queuing around, yeah.
Yeah.
So look at that very carefully, how you're going to handle that, how you're going to prevent people from making some errors as they drive in. Granted, if they're used to the place, they're going to remember that there's queuing there. If they're coming in for the first or second time, they might not remember. So just watch that very carefully and consider how this queuing would affect people turning right into that parking lot.
Right, that makes sense. The other thing I just, as we go through the process with Arby's too, I think right now I've got 10 cars in queue, but I've got enough room there to move that loop closer to Route 1, still stay out of the 15-foot landscape setback from Route 1 if we need to add a few more cars to the queue to get them out of that drive aisle. So
Yeah,
we're
just,
gonna kind of have to work through that.
yeah, yes, that's why we have sketch plans, so we can give you an idea of things that you might have to work through.
Right, no, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. James?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Rachel mentioned as part of the landscaping, may want to consider some kind of barrier hedge, at least something thick just to avoid the lights flashing onto Route 1. That was one I was thinking of as well. With regard to one of the public comments and just a concern over general noise, looking at the menu board and the pickup window location, looks like the menu board is aimed at Route 1. And can you confirm that the menu board and the pickup window are the only spots where there are outdoor speakers?
Yeah, as far as I know, unless something comes up with Arby's that I don't know about, it's the menu board in the pickup window.
Okay, all right.
I don't anticipate anything else, but
Okay, no,
I
that's
can't
fine.
guarantee that.
Yeah, just thinking the concern of noise, just from the order pickup, let's just want to make sure we just, the fact that it's on the Route 1's facing side, it's a little bit better. I'd like the layout, how we were avoiding Little Dolphin School. That was my primary concern last time, so I'm glad to see that addressed. Thank you. The only other question is, and I'll leave this up for town, and my other comments mimic yours, Mr. Chairman, and Rachel's. Just making sure, like, the parking, because how many parking spots are we losing with this layout from the overall?
Right. Well, based on all the other uses, I think we're minus 13 on that layout.
Okay,
So it seems like all the layouts I've done, I've been between 10 and 12 and 13. So as that gets refined, it should be around there, but hopefully we can pick up a few or,
okay,
it's going to be in that range.
okay. I guess
Like-
For, I guess my only request for next time with regard to this is, let's make sure that the parking counts align with what are the businesses that are there for the different times that they're in use.
Yes, we did a preliminary parking count. One of the uses that we had wrong, I had wrong. So I still need to update that, and the next submittal will have it updated, and that'll be part of the package as well.
Great, let's make sure we see that. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, James. William?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to, I think, Rachel, I wasn't thinking of Starbucks. I was actually thinking of our conversation a couple of months ago with Harbor Fish and with kind of the traffic there. And I think just underscoring for you, you are creating a plan. We are responding to your plan and to the peer review done traffic-wise in particular on the plan. And I appreciate that this is further away from the school. And I just really underscore like the work that you do, the planning that you do, and we respond to that and respond to the peer reviews as well. And so just very much looking forward to seeing the peer reviews in particular. I share a lot of Rachel's concerns about that abrupt entry and just some of the backup and queuing. And I think my concerns at this point really are just the overall flow. And I think I share that I do believe that it'll be a popular location. And, you know, having driven by, say, the Arby's up on Western Ave in Augusta, you know, that is at the right time, that is more than 10 cars. And, you know, as we think about what that looks like, what that feels like, and how it's a safe experience for folks, is something I'm just, again, underscore. Please just, I know you're going to do this, but you know, we are here to respond to what you're proposing. And I think the feedback we provided a couple months ago around, you know, changes that needed to happen, we can only get what we get. And there is an element of just, this is your creation with peer review and we can respond to it. But we are not here to kind of create it for you.
Yep, makes sense.
Thanks, William.
Thank you.
To wrap this one up, do you have any questions for us before you head off to go through the next phase, which is your site inventory?
No, not right now. We don't. We're still working through updating the boundary survey and getting the traffic report started and, you know, all the background stuff. So.
Well, at this point, I think that generally the feedback is positive for the way you've presented it this time, and would encourage you to tweak it and go through the process, and we'll see how you come out.
Great.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, that is it for our action items. We'll move on to minor development reviews.
There was one minor development review this past submittal cycle. It was a minor site plan at 696 US Route 1. This involved just some small changes on the site, including there's an existing shed that is being removed and replaced with an area of grass, removing an existing barn in order to extend the driveway on the site. And this is actually,
What business is this?
that's a great question. Autumn, could you remind me what business is?
An insurance company.
Okay, thank
Insurance
you.
company, okay.
Right. And be a safe guess, probably. And this actually, it's 3 square feet, but it did reduce the total impervious coverage on the site by 3 square feet.
By
That
3,
grass, so,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's our.
Well, glad you can handle those minor reviews. Any staff reports,
None at this time.
amendments?
None at this time.
That leaves us to the planning board comments. Anyone wishing to make a comment? I will make one comment. There is a workshop tomorrow evening with the town council and the Scarborough legislative delegates. And it might be worth either reviewing the video at your own time or showing up here tomorrow at 5:30, but I just wanted to throw that out. And I'm also looking forward to attending this housing discussion that is being sponsored by GP Cog at Hannaford Hall tomorrow, starting, I believe, at 1 p.m. Just as, they're coining it as maybe some tools and conversations around the need for housing in Maine generally. And we have our challenges here in Scarborough, which is why I think it's a great opportunity for us to listen in and see how the state is looking at this deficit in housing and how communities can and need to respond in a responsible way. So those are my two public service announcements. Rachel?
Yeah, I just want to say this is my last meeting. And I really appreciate the time that I've served. And
A long time.
8.5 years, actually. I didn't make it to 9 years for some reason or other because of the way the
You
appointments came.
started, yeah.
Yeah, but I am very convinced that the folks who are on the board and the folks who will come on will do a good job for the town. Thank you.
Well, you're certainly recognized as being a very valuable asset and have been an asset to this board over the years. And I appreciate on a personal level some of the mentoring that you provided me as I started here 6 years ago, and kind of giving me that little advice along the way. It was very appreciative.
But it wasn't nagging, it was just a little nudge now and then.
Just a little nudge, sometimes a foot. But generally, I've enjoyed it all. So thank you for everything you've done for the town, and you will be missed, but we know that all good things come to an end at some point. Thanks. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Rachel. All in favor? Raise your hand. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, William.
Thank you. See y'all soon. See you tomorrow, Rick.
Yes, I'll see you there.